We started this show with a 65-year-old play that is still going strong, and now we come right up to date with the latest Christie theatre production to hit the stage. Well, I say stage. Charting the course of a tense life or death murder trial, Witness for the Prosecution is Agatha Christie's nail-biting courtroom masterpiece. For its most recent revival, the producers have chosen to present it not in one of London's most prestigious theatres, but instead in a unique setting that could have almost been designed and built specifically for the play. The original theatrical production of Witness for the Prosecution opened in October 1953, just a year after The Mousetrap had made its debut here in London. Over the years, there have been numerous stage revivals and some incredibly popular TV, film and radio adaptations. However, none have brought Agatha Christie's work to an audience in quite this way. What once served the capital as the headquarters of local government now brings a theatre audience closer to the drama created by Agatha Christie in one of her most seminal plays. And where better to meet the people involved in this distinctive production than the slightly foreboding ex-council chamber where Witness for the Prosecution is being staged.
I swear by Almighty God that the evidence I shall give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Lucy, thank you for making time to see us today. I imagine it's incredibly busy at the moment.
A little.
A little.
Understatement.
Yeah, I bet. And let's start with where exactly we are. For anyone who doesn't recognise these surroundings, where are we?
Well, we're at the County Hall in London, right opposite Big Ben. So, yeah, it's a classic monument of London, I think, this building.
And just an incredible, I'm guessing, location to be staging Agatha Christie's play. It's what's the thinking behind that?
Well, it's a courtroom drama. I think the producer, Rebecca Stafford, who first did the play up in Leeds or York, she had the idea to do it as a site-specific show, and she found a council chamber there, I think a lot smaller, and then she came to London and found this, and then she got together with the producer, Eleanor Lloyd, and then they approached me to do a new production, and they brought me to the space, and I have to say, and I walked in, it does take your breath away. You can't kind of oversell it just in case people come in now and get disappointed, but on the other hand, when you do come in, it's a sort of sense of, it's very sombre, it's very formal. And I think it's that note of sobriety that really fits the play, where a man's life or death is in question. You know, if he's found guilty, he will hang. So the seriousness of law and passing judgment is, you really feel it as you sit in this room.
This jacket, you said there was blood on both cuffs?
Yes.
Both cuffs?
I told you that is what Leonard said.
No, Mrs. Hauger, you said he told me to wash the cuffs, they had blood on them.
That is precisely my note, Sir Wilfrid.
Thank you, my lord. You were saying you washed both cuffs.
It is my friend's turn to be inaccurate now, my lord. Nowhere has this witness said that she washed both cuffs, or indeed that she washed even one.
Oh, very well. Did you wash both cuffs?
I remember now, it was only one cuff I washed.
Another lie, then.
How relevant do you feel it is to be putting on an Agatha Christie play today?
Well, she never stops being relevant. I mean, in the sense that you just enjoy her storytelling. She's a genius at plots and keeping us on the edge of our seats and keeping us involved. It's a bizarre thing she does. I think everybody from the age of 8 upwards can have a relationship to the story. She has that. She doesn't push anybody away. It's very, very wordy, the piece. I mean, wordy in a way that can, I hope, is quite adrenaline, because you have to listen really hard and you have to keep up with it. But it's very accessible. So she's populist in that way, I think, in that everybody feels that they got it and they can understand it. Of course, she pulls the rug under their feet in several ways, and that's the delight of it. But actually, they don't feel spoken down to. They feel utterly involved in that story. And all different people of all walks of life and all ages can get the story, and that's her brilliance.
I guess that's one of the best things about her work, how engaged you not only are, but you have to be, and how much it involves you and makes you think and sort of, again, it's a cliche, but try and outwit the author by working it out before they come to reveal who it is. And
and that will never, ever be dated, will it? We always love these brain teasers. I mean, particularly now at the moment, there's so many sort of thrillers and this kind of twist, like Black Mirror, you know, and all these people are loving these kind of high concept TV dramas, and this is sort of similar. It sort of flatters you into trying to be really bright, but trying to get ahead of the game, and also sort of trying to read. I think the other thing that's very strong in the play is she has brought enormous psychological veracity to these characters, and it's the characters themselves that are fascinating. So it's not just the sort of twists of the plot. There are these people you want to live with and get to know, which I think is a remarkable achievement.
More lies. Why did you lie?
I said what Leonard told me to say. The truth is that Leonard cut himself with the knife to make it seem the blood was his.
I did not. I didn't.
Be quiet. So you admit that your original story to the police was a pack of lies. You're a very accomplished liar, are you not, Mrs. Vole, Mrs. Heilger?
Leonard told me what to say.
The question the jury must ask themselves is, were you lying then, or are you lying now?
I was afraid of Leonard.
Catherine, how are you?
Yeah, very good, thank you.
An incredible location. I mean, I walked in and I was like, flipping heck.
I know, it's amazing. It's a really epic building, but it's quite intimate as well. We've got sort of audience chairs very close to us here, but then it goes all the way up and up and out.
I mean, looking across your CV from Downton to the Tudors, and you must have sort of spent quite a lot of time on some fairly epic period
I was
sets.
saying this the other day. It's like one of the best things about being an actor is you get allowed in buildings that you would never be allowed in usually. And this is a particularly good example of that. We've sort of had free run of this place, and we've all sat in that big chair up there. And just it's ridiculous how comfortable of the seating is. And it's just an epic building, amazing to be in.
And reading the script, what's your reaction to it initially when you sort of go?
It's great. I mean, you expect a twist, but she really knocks it out of the park. There are, I'd say three full twists. You get a really big one, and you think, oh, great, that's good, and then they just keep coming. At the end, it's I can't give any of them away, obviously, but because the plot's so twisty, because it's Agatha Christie. That rhymes.
If that has not been used before, it's
so
twisty because it's Christie.
It's Christie. They're just gasping when these things happen. It's kind of like being in Gogglebox. People are just sort of gasping, and I think we had a Jesus Christ last night. Yeah.
Is this your first experience of performing Agatha Christie's work?
Yeah, it is. I mean, I've done a lot of kind of crime dramas which are all sort of descended from her work. I mean, like Midsummer Murders and Law and Order, and every kind of British sort of, or American sort of detective show sort of has links back to her storylines and stuff like that. But this is the first chance I've got to do like a classic Agatha Christie.
The public interest in this new production of Witness for the Prosecution, along with the Mousetrap's iconic theatrical status and the new movie version of Murder on the Orient Express, go a long way to illustrate just how much our contemporary culture owes to Agatha Christie.
I think the reason that people are still drawn to Christie today is the old-fashioned reason. The reason that we're still drawn to Charlotte and Emily Bronte, to Shakespeare, to whoever, our favourites might be, is that she knows how to tell a jolly good story.
There was no other writer that has her unique take on storytelling.
It's a very, very simple thing that she tells a really good story, and really good stories will last the test of time.
Murder mysteries in general, I think, will always appeal, because unfortunately people will always do heinous things, and other people will spend a lot of their time wondering why.
We are fascinated with that. We're fascinated with unsolved crimes. We're fascinated with the idea that these things may have happened and we still haven't put the pieces together.
It's all about trust. It's about who do you trust. That will never be out of fashion, because that, fortunately or unfortunately, is a question that we ask ourselves every day.
The puzzle of this genre is something that I think continues to pique our interests as viewers.
She was writing in a time where it seems almost impossible for her to dream up the characters she dreamt up, who are still sort of resonating now.
She's been inspiring many generations. I don't know, it's her genius.
The themes that she explores in her books of people that you think you know, turns out you don't know anything about, they're as relevant today as they were then when she wrote them.
She's absolutely one of the all-time greats. She's outsold only by the Bible and Shakespeare. The sales say it all. I think she's up there with Shakespeare and God. I think Shakespeare and God are quite pleased that Agatha Christie hangs around with them at all.
It seems that time on my Agatha Christie investigation is almost up. And there's clear evidence of her fingerprints all across the books, plays, television shows and movies that dominate our cultural landscape.
If this were an Agatha Christie story, we are coming to the point where I'd gather everyone together to reveal all the answers. But can I?
There's no denying that her work continues to enthrall audiences, whether on screen, stage or page, with a teasing sense of misdirection that excites rather than exasperates. And on top of this, her work gives us the opportunity to observe from a safe distance the decadent and privileged world of the British elite, where a murder weapon was the only thing likely to stop the party from going on forever. The gruesome deaths and expertly plotted schemes she concocted are undeniably fun, but only when securely confined to the inside of a book or a theatre or a cinema.
The real trick is that Agatha Christie took a very narrow slice of time and place that many could only ever aspire to experience and cast a grisly shadow over it that readers could revel in whilst keeping safely at arm's length, literally. She took something that we all wish we could have, combined it with something we definitely don't want, and somehow turned it into something universal that seems locked in time and yet hasn't dated at all. And maybe that is the real twist at the end of the tale, that her incredible success, immense popularity and unparalleled legacy will continue to inspire contemporary culture, as long as we're all willing to ask one simple question: who done it?